Goldfields and Gold One International will investigate jointly reprocessing their combined service tailings deposits on the West Rand of South Africa's Witwatersrand Basin. Neal Froneman, CEO of Gold One, joins us now on the line for more insight. Thanks so much, Neal, for your time this afternoon. Of course, with Goldfields, you're investigating this JV for retreatment of West Rand surface tailings deposits. Why are you going down this route? Run us through the rationale.
Yeah, good afternoon, Alishia. Look, the whole tailings retreatment business is one that benefits from volume. That's one of the primary commercial issues. I think the other thing is that large amounts of capital are required, and of course, if you can share infrastructure and pool your resources, that also has a very positive commercial benefit. I think probably even more important than that, Goldfields and ourselves have very similar views on environmental standards, and a major thrust of this initiative is also about cleaning up historical tailing sites and redepositing them in a very sustainable way.
So that's setting the rationale. The viability of concurrently going down this route is still being investigated and looked into. What kind of time frame have the companies set out in terms of when you're looking to actually put this off the table?
We would hope by the end of the year to make a firm decision on whether to implement the project or not. Obviously, there's milestones throughout the year which will give us guidance, but I think it's important also to note that both these projects have been looked at separately. Goldfields has looked at their resources with their own capital, and it is viable. I believe they chose not to go ahead because they had other capital priorities. We have completed a definitive study on our resources, the majority of which is a uranium resource, and that is viable. So we expect when we pull these two things together that you should end up with 1 and 1 is 3, not 2.
Just how much of the viability is dependent on the gold price sitting where it is right now? Because we were chatting earlier, and certainly what makes this operation very lucrative is the fact that you're accessing ore bodies, at this stage of the game at a lower cost, and that part of the imperative, Neal.
Yeah, look, the gold price and the uranium price play quite an important role in this. It's highly geared to the gold price. I would suggest that we would not go ahead if it was marginal, and therefore I would suggest that around these gold prices, which we believe are sustainable in the medium term, it should still be a very viable project.
Of course, ore bodies are a lot more expensive to mine, and it's going to be a focal point. This, as it offers a cheaper alternative for miners to access gold, uranium, etc. How are you assessing this as a trend that's potentially set to take off in the industry?
Well, first of all, obviously, the fact that you don't have to go underground to break the rock to access the minerals in the rock is a huge advantage. So tailings retreatment is seen as a low risk business in the gold mining business. So that is positive. I think in terms of other opportunities, there are other opportunities, but they're not available in a plentiful way. They're limited.
Of course, the reverse of the current situation you find yourself in, Neal, then one would assume prove to be true as well, in that it would be easier to shut down these operations if that gold price reverses.
Logically that is so. However, you do not want to end up with a half-treated tailings dam, because you actually make the environmental issue worse. So you really have to commit and treat a dam complete it if you are going to be responsible about it.
Of course, we've had Gold One very active within this space. I mean, you've completed the acquisition of Rand Uranium. You've also established the Randfontein surface operations. In terms of outlook for the company moving into 2012, Neal, what are prospects looking like?
They are looking very good. Our primary focus is to ensure that our core business, which is the underground mining business, continues to work well. At Modder East, at Randfontein, our focus is on turning the underground cook operations to account properly, reducing the costs, increasing the revenue. As you've said, we've recently acquired this. We have new strategic partners in the form of the Chinese, which gives us huge capacity to do more of the things that we've announced today.